Imagine a world where a cartoon show, airing for decades, consistently, eerily, and accurately foretells major global events. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, what if I told you that show already exists, and you've probably watched it? I'm talking about the Simpsons. For years, whispers have circulated. Did the Simpsons predict that? From political upsets to scientific breakthroughs, the seemingly innocent animated family from Springfield has been credited with an almost supernatural ability to see into the future. But how? Is it pure coincidence, brilliant foresight from a team of genius writers, or something far more unsettling? Stick around, because today, we're not just watching The Simpsons, we're dissecting its secrets, analyzing its prophecies, and perhaps uncovering a hidden blueprint for our future. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please comment what you want to suggest to me. That will be the motivation for me to make videos every day. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to the topic. The Simpsons' uncanny vision coincidence or blueprint. When cartoons become crystal balls, The Simpsons did it phenomenon. You might have heard the viral phrase, "The Simpsons did it," every time a bizarre or unprecedented event unfolds in the real world. This isn't just internet folklore. It's a phenomenon so pervasive that it caught the attention of even a British online casino company. Back in 2021, Platin Casino posted a job opening that sounded like a prank. They needed a Simpsons series analyst. For 2 months, this individual would binge watch the show, diligently noting down any events that could become real in the future, then report their findings to the company's prediction team. The pay? A cool $6,800 plus free donuts. Sounds like a dream job, right? But beneath the whimsical exterior, Platin Casino was dead serious. They, like many others, recognized something profound. The Simpsons has an undeniable track record of seemingly foretelling major world-changing events. Think about it, from the outcome of presidential elections to global pandemics, and even corporate takeovers, it's as if the show is playing out a preview of the world to come. But why? How does a yellow-skinned family from a fictional town manage to pull off such frighteningly accurate predictions? Is it genuinely just a string of unbelievable coincidences, or is there a deeper, more profound conspiracy at play? Let's dive into some of the most famous examples, and as we do, I want you to consider how these seemingly random animated scenes could have possibly become reality. Unpacking the prophecies from Hollywood deals to global crises. One of the most mind-blowing predictions involves the colossal entertainment industry. Cast your mind back to 1998, a time when 20th Century Fox was an undisputed titan in Hollywood. No one, absolutely no one, could have conceived of this powerhouse being acquired by another company. Yet, in a Simpsons episode from that year, a scene at the 20th Century Fox headquarters displayed a subtle but significant detail: a division of Walt Disney Co., emblazoned underneath the famous studio logo. 19 years later, on December 14, 2017, it actually happened. Disney officially acquired 20th Century Fox for a staggering $71.3 billion. This wasn't just some small merger. It was a seismic shift that redefined the landscape of Hollywood, granting Disney ownership over iconic franchises like Deadpool, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and even James Cameron's Avatar. To predict such a massive industry consolidation, worth hundreds of billions of dollars, almost 2 decades in advance, is, in my opinion, far beyond mere happenstance. It suggests an incredibly deep understanding of industry trends, or perhaps a startlingly clear crystal ball. But the predictions don't stop at corporate takeovers. The Simpsons has also ventured into far more somber territory: global conflicts and pandemics. In a special Christmas episode aired in late 2020, The Simpsons painted a bleak picture of a post-apocalyptic Springfield. The episode depicted a scene on November 3, 2020, Election Day, where Homer Simpson oversleeps and misses his chance to vote. As a result, Springfield descends into a desolate wasteland, and 4 horsemen, reminiscent of the biblical apocalypse, appear in the sky, carrying banners inscribed with pestilence, famine, war, and the episode title itself, Treehouse of Horror 31, Standing in for Death. Now, it's easy to dismiss this as broad, generalized imagery. Wars, famine, and disease have plagued humanity throughout history. However, 2 years after this episode aired, a brutal conflict erupted in Europe that sent shockwaves across the globe, impacting global supply chains, driving up food and fuel prices, and exacerbating famine in vulnerable regions. While the show's depiction was symbolic, the timing and the global impact of the real-world events have led many to believe that Treehouse of Horror 31 eerily foreshadowed this global conflict. This isn't just about a localized skirmish, it's about a war with truly global ramifications, something the episode seems to hint at with its apocalyptic imagery. The brains behind the prophecy's science, politics, and unexpected laureates. Beyond the grand geopolitical and corporate predictions, The Simpsons has also demonstrated an astonishing ability to pinpoint specific individuals and achievements. Take, for instance, the Nobel Prize prediction in a 2010 episode, Season 22, Episode 1. Elementary school musical, The Simpsons and their friends are watching the Nobel Prize ceremony. On TV, Bart's friend Milhouse places a bet, naming economist Bengt Holmstrom as a potential Nobel winner, while the episode fictionally announces someone else as the winner. The crucial detail is that in 2016, a full 6 years later, the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences actually awarded the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences to Oliver Hart and, you guessed it, Bengt Holmstrom. Holmstrom's winning research, focused on contract theory, might sound dry, but it's incredibly relevant to understanding modern economics, balancing stakeholder needs, and distributing financial benefits. For a cartoon to drop the name of a future Nobel laureate 6 years before the actual announcement is a level of specificity that defies easy explanation. And then, of course, there's the infamous Donald Trump presidency prediction. Many recall the widely circulated images of Trump descending an escalator during his 2016 campaign, or standing with world leaders, attributing these directly to The Simpsons. It's important to clarify that many of these widely shared images are actually fan-made. The true prediction is more subtle, yet arguably more impactful. In the 2000 episode, Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes the first straight female president, inheriting a massive budget deficit from her predecessor, none other than President Donald Trump. At the time, the idea of a reality TV billionaire becoming President of the United States was truly outlandish. It was a joke, a commentary on the absurdity of celebrity culture bleeding into politics. Yet, 16 years later, that joke became a reality. The very notion of a non-traditional political figure occupying the White House, a position that influences not just America, but the entire world, was unthinkable then. For the Simpsons writing team to conceptualize such an unlikely scenario, and then for it to unfold in real life, suggests either an incredibly insightful understanding of American pop culture's potential, influence, or a truly mind-bending coincidence. It makes you wonder if the world isn't just changing, but rather is being written as the Simpsons script dictates. The God Particle and the Quest for Martian Colonies. If you're still not convinced by the previous examples, prepare for this one. The Simpsons seemingly uncovered a secret about the universe, even before scientists officially confirmed it. In a 1998 episode, Homer Simpson, in his role as an inventor, is seen writing a complex, seemingly nonsensical equation on a blackboard. To the untrained eye, it's just gibberish. However, years later, scientists were stunned to realize that this equation was a partial representation of what eventually led to the discovery of the Higgs boson particle, also known as the God particle. The Higgs boson, a fundamental particle, interacts with the Higgs field, giving mass to other particles. Without it, atoms and matter couldn't form, essentially, no universe as we know it. The Higgs boson was hypothesized in 1964, but wasn't officially discovered until 2012 by CERN's Large Hadron Collider. For a cartoon from 1998 to feature an equation that aligns with such a monumental scientific discovery, years before its confirmation, is truly astounding. It makes you question the very nature of inspiration and foresight. And the show's predictive reach extends even further, touching upon humanity's ultimate ambition, colonizing other planets. In an episode, Homer and Marge are seen enjoying virtual chocolate through VR headsets and food tubes, experiencing the full flavor without any calories. The seemingly futuristic concept is already being explored by scientists globally, with projects aiming to simulate taste and texture using electronic devices. While still in early stages, imagine the implications for dietary restrictions or enhanced virtual reality experiences. Even more dramatically, The Simpsons has depicted the colonization of Mars. In an episode, Lisa Simpson volunteers for a one-way trip to Mars, with Marge eventually joining her. This storyline resonates uncannily with real-world ambitions. Visionaries like Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, aim for a million-person city on Mars by 2050. While seemingly ambitious, China plans crewed missions by 2033, and NASA targets the late 2030s or early 2040s. The show even subtly touches upon the challenges: radiation from the sun, extreme temperatures, and a thin atmosphere. Addressing these issues, like Musk's controversial idea of using nuclear bombs to warm Mars, or NASA's current simulated Mars habitats, directly mirrors the show's futuristic scenarios. The sheer scale and accuracy of these predictions, from the scientific minutiae to the grand human endeavors, really makes you ponder if The Simpsons isn't just entertaining us, but subtly preparing us for what's to come. Behind the curtain, coincidence, expertise, or something more? So, how do the creators of The Simpsons explain these incredible prophecies? According to the show's producers, their team comprises experts in various fields: geography, physics, chemistry, who meticulously research and discuss potential future events during the scriptwriting process. Eugene, a longtime writer for The Simpsons since 1998, famously stated that the future isn't that hard to predict. He explains that each episode is produced a year in advance, giving them a slight head start on current events. For the Disney-Fox acquisition, Gene attributed it to a logical progression of thought. It was, he implied, a sensible prediction based on industry trends. The Higgs-boson prediction also has a more grounded explanation. David the Tenth Cohen, a writer for that specific episode, holds a bachelor's degree in physics from Harvard. The equation Homer wrote was based on Cohen's understanding of theoretical physics at the time. While not perfectly accurate, it was a reasonable approximation that later aligned remarkably with the actual discovery. It wasn't a mystical prophecy, but rather an informed, intelligent guess from someone deeply knowledgeable in the field. As for the Donald Trump presidency, the show's creators stated it was intended as a joke, a commentary on the absurdity of a reality TV star becoming president. At the time, Trump was primarily known as a celebrity, and the idea of him in the Oval Office seemed ludicrous. Their breaking the mold decision to feature him as a past president was a satirical jab that, against all odds, became a legendary prophecy. However, despite these logical explanations from the show's creators, a fascinating and persistent theory continues to circulate: that The Simpsons is somehow a mouthpiece for the Illuminati, a secret society pulling the strings of humanity. This theory often gains traction because the show's production team does indeed boast an unusual concentration of highly educated individuals with diverse expertise in science, politics, economics, and art. Why would such brilliant minds choose to dedicate their careers to an animated sitcom, seemingly abandoning fields that require extensive, dedicated research? The theory suggests that these individuals are carefully selected by organizations like the Illuminati to subtly disseminate information about an impending new world order. If this were true, it would imply that countless other hidden predictions are still waiting to be unverified within the show's vast library of episodes. What's next? Robots, virtual food, and the Martian dream. So what other prophecies from The Simpsons are currently in limbo, awaiting verification? Let's consider two particularly intriguing ones: the rise of robots and the concept of virtual food. In one episode, robots are depicted not only taking over human jobs, but also engaging in leisure activities and providing emotional support. However, these robots eventually develop self-awareness, feel mistreated, and rebel against humanity. While the rebellion part remains pure science fiction for now, the first part of this prediction is undeniably coming true. Robots are increasingly replacing humans in dangerous or repetitive tasks across various industries. The critical question now is whether the rapid advancements in artificial intelligence over the past decade will lead to robots developing true consciousness and potentially becoming uncontrollable. This is a topic that deserves its own deep dive, and the potential impact of AI on humanity is something we've explored extensively in another video. Then there's the truly mind-bending concept of virtual food. As mentioned earlier, Homer and Marge are seen enjoying invisible chocolate through virtual reality headsets and food tubes, experiencing the taste without the calories. Believe it or not, this isn't just a cartoon fantasy anymore. Scientists worldwide are actively experimenting with virtual food, using electronic devices to simulate the taste and texture of real food, even when there's nothing actually in your mouth. Researchers like Nimesha Ranasinghe from the National University of Singapore have developed digital lollipops that simulate various flavors and spoons with electrodes that amplify salty, sour, and bitter tastes. While initially focused on electrical stimulation, their later work involves thermal stimulation to mimic sweetness on the tongue. Other researchers are using electrical stimulation on jaw muscles to simulate chewing different food textures. Imagine the implications: virtual meals for those with dietary restrictions, enhanced gaming experiences, or even a way to combat food shortages in the future while still in the experimental phase. These technologies show immense promise. And finally, returning to the dream of Mars colonization, which The Simpsons also foreshadowed. The challenges are immense: intense solar radiation, extremely low temperatures, and a thin atmosphere. NASA's current simulated Mars habitats, where volunteers live for extended periods, are designed to gather crucial data on human adaptation, physical and psychological impacts of long-duration space travel, and human-machine interactions in harsh environments. These simulations are vital for developing strategies to mitigate challenges and ensure the success of future missions. They also serve as testing grounds for advanced life support systems, communication tools, and resource management techniques that will be critical for a sustainable human presence on the Red Planet. The success of these simulations depends heavily on teamwork, resilience, and adaptability among the volunteers. If humans can't cooperate in a controlled, simulated environment, the real challenges of Mars will be insurmountable. So, after examining these astonishing instances, do you believe The Simpsons' predictions are merely coincidences? Or is there something more profound at play? For decades, this animated series has offered us glimpses of a future that has, time and again, materialized in unexpected ways. Whether it's the result of brilliant foresight, extensive research, or something far more enigmatic, the show continues to captivate and mystify us. Perhaps The Simpsons serves as a cultural mirror, reflecting our collective anxieties, aspiration, and even our subconscious predictions. Or perhaps, as some theorists suggest, it's a subtle guide, nudging humanity towards a predetermined path. Regardless of your belief, one thing is certain: The Simpsons remains a cultural phenomenon, a show that transcends mere entertainment. It invites us to ponder the nature of time, destiny, and the incredible power of storytelling. I personally believe The Simpsons holds a special and enigmatic quality, unlike any other show I've encountered. Let's keep watching and see what other incredible insights this animated crystal ball reveals about our future. What's your take on The Simpsons predictions? Do you think they're coincidental? Or is there something more at play? Share your thoughts in the comments below.